right. Team United is ready. We're going to share our top 10. I know you've been waiting for it. We got James, Gabe, and Sebastian. And this is not a strategic setup. We just shared our top 10, and maybe we agree on some and some don't. So don't take it personal. We love all countries, and it's just our personal taste. And I know we all wish we could put 20 in our top 10, but I heard it's not allowed. So we're just going to jump right into it and tell you our top 10. And Gabe, you get to go first. What's your first country on your top 10 list? In no particular order.
It's great to be back. I'm full of Eurovision hype, having just spent 650 euros on tickets because I make good financial decisions. No, for real. Honestly, it's awful. I had no money before, but the trick is if you have no money and you spend money, you still have no money. Like you don't actually lose anything.
That's, I guess, a nice outlook to it.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, like I there right now, the University of Oxford are rushing around to give me an economics degree because I just solved it. Anyway, my first country is the Netherlands. I think the Netherlands took a massive risk this year, sending a song in Dutch for the first time since that horrific fever dream, however many years ago, Charlie.
PTSD.
Okay, it was horrible. The clown things freaked me out. Anyway, this is so much better. It's memorable. It's really well put together ballad. The sort of ooh ah in the chorus is super, super memorable. I think people will pick that up on the first listen.
Sebastian, what's the first country on your list? You're in your top 10.
My first country is Estonia. I believe they got the best song from years in case of Eurovision Song Contest. I believe Hope it's pretty catchy song, really distinctive in case of chorus. I believe it's gonna be very public pleaser. Lots of people gonna join it, like it, to sing with the Stefan, and I believe that he is very good vocalist also. So his live performance is gonna be on touch, and with his all Western climatic things, it's gonna be very memorable for lots of people, and it's gonna be the pleaser of the dance vibe people. So I believe that Estonia is very, very good this year.
All right, Estonia. So James, who's in your top 10, your first country?
All right, my number one, well, not number one, but my first pick, honorary Yorkshire folk, We Are Domi from the Czech Republic. So if Sam Ryder makes an ass of himself, I am definitely cheering on our fellow Leeds University alumni here. It's just a nice, fun, engaging EDM song. I really enjoy it. Nothing more I could say on that.
Nothing more to say. All right, well, the first country on my list, again, in no particular order in my top 10 is, they got to be in there, Ukraine, Kalush Orchestra. To me, that song is just out of this world. Ukraine always sends music that is interesting. You may not always like it every year, but it's never, ever boring. And this one ticks all the boxes for me. To me, and this is a strong statement, probably, especially when you're talking about Ukraine, one of the best efforts in many, many years. It's one of those songs that I look forward to when it's on the playlist. Like, oh, when is it coming up? When is it coming up? And that is very powerful. I think it has culture. It has catchiness. It has everything I'm looking for in a song. So Ukraine has to be in my top 10. So a wide range already of opinions here. Let's go right back to Gabe. What's the second country on your list?
My second one is France. Now, this is, I think, a really strong effort from them. I had a massive agenda against this song for a little while because I'm extremely petty and I wanted Soa to win the national selection. Wow. So initially I decided I hated this song for no reason other than I am a deeply flawed human being who makes mountains out of molehills and is overly dramatic. Also known as 98% of the Eurovision fandom. But this song is great. It's really, really unique. I think the live performance was really powerful. So I think this is a real contender. I don't think it'll win, but I think it's going to get into the top 10. It's really memorable, and people are going to connect with it on the night. There's a reason it won that national final so easily.
very honest, response there, because we all, I think, are guilty of that to a certain extent sometimes. So you're not alone. Sebastian, who else is in your top 10?
My choice this time is Portugal. I believe that sometimes making simple is a success. And I believe that what the Black Mamba done last year with the Portugal going with English more on the Eurovision Song Contest, it's pretty good strategy, and mixing the Portuguese with the pure emotion, soulful song, which lay the truth, I believe, for lots of people who feel something like that in their life, can be a great thing, great opener for Portugal to second grand final in a row, and hopefully for maybe a dark horse. I would love to see it, and I keep my finger crossed for this beautiful piece of music.
Oh, that's nice. James, song number 2, in no particular order, in your top 10.
All right, my number 2, Iceland. I do enjoy these three ladies and what they bring. They're called Sister. We at ESC United, we lovingly refer to them as aunties because they bring a very nice, tranquil vibe. A very nice, ethereal folk country song, referencing all the Nordic imagery that you expect, northern lights, rising sun. Just reminds me of sort of an old lady's calm before the storm. I like this 3 minutes of calm.
That's nice. Well, my number 2, in no particular order, in my top 10, is the hosting nation, Italy, and I'm so thrilled to have them back after last year's situation. I will not go into it, but honestly, it is, to me, it's actually, some people may think it's just a ballad, but how often do we get male duets that are very almost like the ballady soft side? It's just something that we don't get to hear a whole lot, and I think the harmonies work well, and they both have good voices. And I'm just always been a fan of Mahmoud's unique voice anyway. It just oozes emotions and it touches me, and it's one of those songs you don't need to speak the language and you can connect to it, so it has to be in my top 10. I mean, there's no other way. So welcome back, Italy. Gabe, your next country in the top 10.
So my next country is Greece. I adore this song. And if you haven't heard, there's an acoustic version, which Amanda Tenfjord just did. Go listen to it. It's unbelievable. Her voice is so good. Again, super unique. Really takes you somewhere through the song. I think it has this kind of magic about it. This is the first one of the countries I've named so far. This is the first one that I think could genuinely win the contest. She has the voice. The song is gorgeous. If they stage it right, if they keep the intimacy in the performance, because I think that's what they really need, then Greece could be in for a really, really big night.
Wow.
So for me, Greece, top 5, absolutely. Winner, possibly.
We'll find out, see if you're right or not, very soon. But Sebastian, who else is on your list?
Right now it's time for Belgium. I believe lots of people sleep on this song, but still for me it's a very Eurovision song which ticks lots of boxes to make it success. First of all, jury pleaser for sure. Great vocals, going from intro more soul R&B to going to straight pop, which people probably gonna memorize with the lots of songs from early 2000s, which is not degree in this case. It's just pretty acceptable and pretty likable for me. And this guy can sing. So I believe with his dancing, with all choreography, with the idea for good staging, which we know Belgium not doing every year, unfortunately. But hopefully this is going to be next chapter in their career in the Eurovision. It can go very, very well. And I keep my fingers crossed for Jérémie.
Wow, that's very interesting. James, go ahead.
Like Gabe, I had a bone to pick with this particular national selection. I was a Javier Amina fan, and I was outraged that they wouldn't go for something as mad as Badgers as Culpa. But they picked the next best thing, Chanel. Oh boy.
The country is Spain, by the way, right?
Yes. Yeah, not to be confused with Chanel from Moldova. But yes, Spain is my number. Is in my top 10 as well. High energy, great performance. Has the potential to be a cult hit for many a year. Very charismatic, great dancer. high energy. Spain is back.
Spain is back. We'll see if you're right soon enough. On my list here, I guess my third country in the top 10 is Austria. And this is a big bias because it gives me such 90s dance floor vibes with some more EDM, attached to it. It's just totally up my alley. And we talked about it previously. Is it going to work live? We don't know, but I don't care. Just as a studio version, I just can't get enough of this song. It is the song that I needed this year so desperately. I needed that beat. I needed that excitement. And I just love the melody. I love everything about it. And I don't know what else to say. It's just a song I don't overthink it. I just put it on. I get I'm happy. I listen to it again, and I listen to it again. I don't care. And that's just how I feel about it. I don't overthink it. Love Austria this year. All right. Let's start over. Over back to you, Gabe.
Poland is my next is the next song. Moving very swiftly on. Poland is the next song. This guy can sing. He is a brilliant singer. Every performance of this song has been flawless. There was some concern raised at the national selection about the lack of staging, but that's always the case at Polish national selections. It's not indicative of the final performance. I think, they kept it simple on the lyrical front. And, there's a few sort of key medleys that are repeated, but I think it does it in such a way that you don't sort of get bored or anything in 3 minutes. So I think this is going to finish really strongly. A strong performance on the night, and it's a top 5 finish, I think, is possible. But top 10 nailed on for me.
Well, Sebastian hopes it. You are right. Speaking of Sebastian, who else is on your list?
Maybe a little surprise, but for me it's Switzerland. As Matt proves, years ago, boys do cry on the Duncan Lawrence reaction video, and it's no shame about it. It's a beautiful memories for me. So yes, boys do cry, and I believe this beautiful rendition of What a Wonderful World with Eurovision tweak. It's not John Tears, it's not any of his songs, but still, it's a very crazy talented vocalist, crazy talented singer, very good artist. He proved it on live, he proved it on the studio version, and I really believe that people can find something deep into this song and grow to this miracle journey with him and give him some love, because I think Switzerland deserves it this year, absolutely.
Wow, that's interesting. James, tell me, who else is on your list?
Hey ho, let's go! Folklore and rock and roll, Moldova! I get really.
Wow, you're really into that one.
Third time appearance by Jezebel. I probably screwed that up, but I don't care. I love their turbo folk. Such high energy, and every year, whether it's an alcohol is free or the third Jezebel, we need this. Very enjoyable old school folk.
All right. Glad that someone has it on that list. Who else is in my top 10? Oh, yes. Gabe, be happy. It's the United Kingdom.
Woo! Sorry, that was very loud.
Now, there is a caveat to it because I almost am worried because the UK was in my top 10 initially last year as well. And we know all how that played out. But I am a whole lot more optimistic here because Sam Ryder can sing well and he's very charismatic and I'm hopeful. But even besides that, I just like this because it's just vocally a little bit different from what we have in the running. It feels British, but it doesn't feel like a copycat or anything. It feels like a really good song that feels right, authentic, and relevant. And I think it has such a mass appeal and it's just going to do really well. But I don't even care because I just think it absolutely up my alley and it puts a smile on my face. So UK, job well done again. Hopefully this time I didn't curse you, but I think you'll be fine. I think you'll be fine this time around. Okay, so lots of different opinions out here. We've got ways to go. Gabe, who else is on your list?
So number 5 for me, it's Sweden. It's Hold Me Closer. Again, I think this could win. I already have an emotional attachment to this song. I remember I was in the Swedish church in London, which runs at Melody Festival and screening every year. I'd drunk an entire bottle of wine. I was drunk and emotional and cried a lot when this won. And I still feel that way when I listen to it. This song is incredible. The performance is incredible. It tugs on the heartstrings. And I think the way in which people have connected with it is going to be replicated right across Europe in May. And I'm so excited to see where this could go.
All right. So next up, Sebastian, who's on your list?
For me, the Netherlands. So welcome back on the list of top 10 for me. I imagine that singing in Dutch is not that easy. Attitude here in Eurovision Song Contest, but with S10, she done it perfectly. She done miracles in this case. She's so melodic, she's so artistry in this what the deep tech gave us on this Eurovision Song Contest, and I truly believe that this whole package with that proper staging will appeal lots of people, and lots of people gonna love it. Lots of people gonna vote it, and hopefully Netherlands gonna get very secure spot on grand final. And hey, top 10, I would love to see it.
Wow. So already lots of love for Netherlands. The second mention here tonight. James, who's on your list next?
You two mentioning women who tug on the heartstrings with emotional ballast. Nonsense, piffle. What you need is trash. And Ireland delivers trash. Brooke Scullion has brought forward this year's official anthem for hen nights. It's fun, boisterous, rowdy. She don't care. She can sing. She can perform. She's going to dazzle with a nice, fun, perky performance.
Oh, straight to the point. That is very interesting. I didn't expect that to be like down the James taste route, but you always surprise me. Next up on my list, oh yes, got to start at the beginning of the alphabet, is Albania, which they weren't the first song released this time around, but especially when the revamp came out, I was like, I'm on board. But I think I will say, I put that caveat out there, I think I have a very limited range of taste this year. I feel like I really gravitate towards the really fun, upbeat, happy songs this year. So I think that just my psyche needs that. And I think that what the song does. It's just energy. It is wild. It is like almost in some ways disjointed melodically, and it's all over the place, but it absolutely works for me. It absolutely does. Albania, I am definitely Team Sekret. Job well done. Okay. Lots of opinions. Let's see if we're going to agree more or if there's, are we going to get all 40 on the list? Gabe, who's next on your list?
Opinions is definitely a good way of describing it. Here's one which isn't very controversial. Italy is going to come in the top 10. I mean, duh.
You have to, right?
I mean, I cannot see any world in which this doesn't come top 10, top 5. Whether it'll win is another matter. It could do, but it's a massive hit for a reason in Italy. It's a great song, beautifully put together. I haven't heard the revamp version yet. I hear it's a little abrupt, like they cut out the build up towards the end, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, Italy's going to do really well this year. They might win again. I wouldn't mind.
I love Italy and the country, so and the food, so it wouldn't be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's always a tough part when you have a song that it's too long, right? You're used to the 3.5 minutes, and we don't know, but most people never heard the longer version, so I don't think it would be maybe as obvious to them. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. Sebastian, who else is on your list?
As an extremely fast-getting, bold Polish guy, you can imagine how surprised and how happy I am that I can say Poland. It's a lot of tough years for us. Many things doesn't work out through the years, and right now we have somebody who Eurovision fan base love. We have somebody who have very high rankings on the scoreboards, and I'm so glad to see it, and I believe he really deserves it. Ochman is a phenomenal singer. He have attitude, he have charisma, and I believe with River as a song, he takes us to a new plethora of lots of exciting things, because this is not the typical ballad song. It changes the tempo, it gives you emotions. It's something which you can take it from it and have fun, cry, or do whatever you want in this case. And I really hope to see Poland in top 10 after many years and have some merry time. I really do.
And I will vouch for Sebastian. He's probably the most critical person when it comes to his own country. He just puts his country in there when the fact that's in your top 10, I think that is a very strong statement. James, who else?
All right, My next pick are those 5 spotty kids from Slovenia who decided to form a band in their garage and give us a weird sort of city pop type band. This weird 80s funk pop retro thing, but from a time and a place that is not Slovenia. Really unusual. I dig the vibes of it. And yeah, but one thing for Turin, check their IDs. I'm not convinced all of them are at 16 here. But I wish the spotty little Herberts good luck.
All right. Also in my top 10, and this is the kind of music I want to see at the contest, the reason why I love Eurovision, and that is Cyprus. I just love this, and I'm so glad that they switch it up this year. Yes, there's some of these great female bangers every single year. This year they're going to something a little bit more mellow almost. It's very mid-tempo-y, and it may not be easy for everyone to access it, but I just love the feel. I just love the vibe. I love the language, and it feels like almost like a little bit like the old days. I'm not calling it outdated, but certainly we don't get that music a whole lot anymore from Greece or Cyprus. So the fact that they went with something like that, I was all over it. I'm like, yes. And so they absolutely delivered in my book. I know it's a much riskier choice than some of what they've done before. And I truly hope that they will be rewarded because I think they delivered. I'm happy with this song from Cyprus, and it has to be in my top 10. And therefore it is. All right. Can't wait. Gabe, what's next?
So my next one is, and I can't believe I'm saying this, UK. I am also putting my own country in the top 10. The song is an actually good radio-friendly song, but in a good way. It's authentic. It feels like an actual song that somebody has written because it's a good and put together and released because it's a good song, not like it's designed for Eurovision. We've spent so many years doing this ridiculous exercise where we try and engineer something for Eurovision or put feelers out to songwriters and work out, oh, this is good in Eurovision. This year, we've just picked a good song sung by one of the best vocalists in the competition this year. He's really charismatic. He's embraced the contest and what it's about. I think we have a real chance to get a great result this year. I cannot wait to see it, how it looks on Turin.
It's nice to see people like you and others actually being genuinely excited about it. So I'm always scared now, if it doesn't work out, but at least there is genuine excitement. And I think that alone is already half the rent in my book. Sebastian, go ahead. We got a few more to go. Who else is on your list?
Right now it's time for Greece. I'm really glad that this modern kind of pop music is welcome on Eurovision Song Contest. I really high about what Greece is doing in the last 2 years. I really hope it's gonna be continue, especially when they together gonna land on top 5. Or I can actually agree with Gabe, so maybe even the win is gonna be on this case, because I believe that everything is gonna be done right. If it's gonna be perfect Saturday for lots of people who are watching Eurovision Grand Final, everything can happen, and I believe that with lots of reasons, this song should get the love from the public, and the Greek people should be very happy. So Greek people, great job.
Indeed. James, your turn.
All right, well, lock me in, lock me out, lock me sideways. My pick is my beloved Sakartvelo, Georgia. I love Georgia, again, doing Georgia and not giving one F about what the rest of Europe wants. And this time they bring a wacky tribute to the Alan Parsons Project from the 80s, which I would never have expected in a million years to have heard at Eurovision. So for a touch of prog rock and doing it in 3 minutes and doing it very wackily, champion. Won't make the grand final, but hey,
you
I
never
do love
know.
the borough.
Don't say that yet. We haven't seen the staging yet. I'm not even convinced about that, but that's another video for another time. And on my list, and that's why Sebastian's my favorite, because he gets it. Belgium, people are sleeping on it. It is such a good song. I initially, when I got a little bit, initially some retro, like almost Michael Jackson. His voice just I just love it. I can't get enough of the song. And while I do believe that it's going to go big with the juries based on the Eurovision response, I'm a little worried about the televote. But I do think that if he is a great live performer, that could go really big. But regardless, again, of what even comes dead last in the semis, which I hope it won't, but if it does, it won't take away from the fact that this, to me, it is so good. His voice makes the song. Yes, if it would have been just an average singer, maybe I wouldn't have been as smitten by it. But everything about it, it feels retro and modern at the same time to me. And I think that this song certainly is, for the lack of a better word, like almost niche, because we don't have anything like that in the running. So I do think there's a much broader appeal out there. And to me, it's just, it's one of those songs that I can even explain. I just really enjoy it. And it has to be in my top 10. All right, we got 3 to go, everyone. Gabe, who else is in your top 10? I need to know.
Ukraine. If I had to pick a song now to win the whole thing, it would be Ukraine. The interesting thing is that if they'd ended up with Alina Pash, I think we'd be talking runaway numbers, more than a Mar Palush Deutsch level victory, given everything that has happened and the meaning that song has now taken on. I think Kalash Orchestra, their song is different and doesn't evoke emotion in the same way, but it still does evoke strong emotion. Given everything that's happened. And I think any Ukrainian entrant would have done that. But even without that, if you take away all the context, it stands alone as one of the strongest songs in the competition, probably the best rap song that there has been in Eurovision. The chorus is so catchy, like super, super, super catchy. Everything about this is great. I'm so glad that they're still participating. And I also want to say that, best wishes to all the members. I know we've got members of the forum who live in Kharkiv, who live in eastern Ukraine, some of whom have been forced to flee their homes, some of whom are in cities under siege. So I want to send my love and all the best to all of them as well.
That's very kind thing. Yes. And Sebastian, who else on your list?
Lots of love from me for Czech Republic. Everything was done in the song, in the melody, makes me very comfortable, makes me very happy, genuinely excited about what we're gonna see on the Eurovision Song Contest. I believe that this song have all ingredients to make it a success, especially with the last spot on the semi-final. So let's have a hope that Czech Republic gonna do miracles, and they're gonna continue their very successful road of sending good songs, which are strategically interesting for lots of people. And hey, maybe Poland gonna learn, for the instance, from the stories.
Yeah, interesting. James.
All right, I know a lot of my relatives will be rolling in their graves, even the living ones, by my next pick. But
why would the living ones rolling in the graves? But this is, sorry for another time.
You don't want the answer to that question.
Yeah, I'm regretting asking.
Not that video.
Go ahead. No,
but my next pick is France. So I'm a big sucker for folktronica, and this one delivers it. You sort of got that handsome, primal frontman with multi-instrumentalist, and then you've got the 3 women who look like they're from a French version of the Wicker Man, and it's sort of weird and occultish, kind of like a bit like Goe in a way, but sort of like given a bit of a tacky 70s sheen. I really enjoy it, and bonus, it's not in French.
I know, right? Outrageous. The next country on my list, and I am once again siding with Sebastian, it's got to be the Czech Republic. I mean, that song just gives me life, and it has almost like the dark beat that it has. It's just so good. I just love the whole, it's a certain almost desperation when she screams, "Where are you now?" It's like about getting over a breakup, and I'm not always just being too judgy or like too focusing on the lyrics, but I get it. Sometimes the message of the song, it really jives with the melody and the feel. And here I absolutely get it. And it's just, it's so good. It has that oomph that I needed. It's going to close the semi, I believe. And it's the perfect way to end so this is going to do really well. I know it. But again, regardless of that, I just think it's a banger. Absolutely good. And he has a recurring theme of me going all about the yay songs this year. So can't help it. But yeah, top 10, it has to be in there. Okay, we got 8 down, 2 to go, right? So Gabe, not much space left. Who gets the privilege to be in your top 10?
Privilege is a strong word. To be honest, I think given my taste in music, if you're in my top 10, you're doing something very wrong.
Oh dear.
But So the next country to be disgraced by me liking it is Spain. I think they've smashed this. It does exactly what it sets out to do. The song is catchy. The chorus is good, but what really elevates this for me, and because I remember the wow fact, obviously we're used to seeing it because we've seen it on loads of different live performances now. That dance break into the final chorus is a wow factor in a big way, and I think it's going to win her a lot of fans. I love what she's doing. I think this is catchy. I think it's going to pop off on the night. I think it's going to be one of those moments where people turn their heads and go, okay, wow, that was great. So I'm so excited to see what they do with it in May.
Yeah. She's a great ambassador, certainly for Spain. She has proven that over time and time again. So Spain should be very excited. Sebastian, who is still left on your list? Tell us.
United Kingdom.
Again?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to stop trolling UK on Eurovision and give them some love and proper respect. If this spaceman won't find a place on the left side of the table, I'll be so angry. Really. This song have all these elements, all these ingredients, which give this song a proper payoff. So I really believe that spectacular staging with his charisma, great vocal, really great, as Gabe said, one of the best this year. It's gonna do the massive number of points. And finally, UK finds some good send-off to next year's and give us lots of phenomenal music. I really hope United Kingdom, great job.
All right. James, go ahead.
I want to know what was going on in Italy's meeting when they were discussing the composition of Brividi. It's like Mahmoud saying, Blanco, my whippersnapper friend, I suck at relationships and can't express my feelings. And then Blanco says, Mahmoud, my more senior ambassador of Italy, I too suck at relationships and can't express my feelings. Let's. And then Mahmoud said, let's do a duet, sing about it, pour our hearts out, we'll go to Rome, we'll score so much sex and win Eurovision. Bravissimo. Great, passionate ballad.
I love that interpretation there. That is not what I saw coming. Okay, again, it was tough to have a top 10 because there were plenty of others, but if I have to give kudos to Gabe, I got to give kudos to Sebastian as well, because my next country is Poland. It has to be Poland. I mean, there are two particular male vocalists three that I'm digging, and Ogman has probably just technically the best voice of the year, like the range that he has. And when he goes into this bridge right now, the river, I'm like, and it's just the same word he keeps singing, but the emotion he pours into it, it like pulls on your heartstrings. I'm like, so like the bridge is my favorite part of the song, but that doesn't mean the rest I don't like. I just think it's just so beautiful. No, I'm absolutely a big fan of Ahmed and his voice. I'm a big fan of the song. As soon as I heard it the first time, I was like, this has to win the Polish national final. If not, I will cancel the country. But that fortunately it didn't. Unfortunately, I didn't have to go down that route. So yes, Poland. So happy to have you in my top 10 again. It's been a few years, so good to have you. That means we all only have one left. That doesn't mean it's our 10th or first place. It's just, random order. So Gabe, tell us who's on your list.
I'm so sorry for this, and I'm ashamed to say it. And I've tried so hard to not like this song, but Norway. It's just really silly and catchy, and I really enjoy it, and I feel awful about it. Like, it is everything that I should hate. The only thing it's missing from the list of all the things that I hate in a Eurovision song is gratuitous line in French. That's the only thing it's missing. It has everything else, and yet I love it.
Wow. Don't feel bad. I think it's a good song, so don't feel bad.
This is the moment I'm going to get cancelled on Eurovision Twitter for this.
Have you seen fan polls? It's pretty darn high out there. So I think you're good. I think you're safe.
I'm sorry, everyone.
I don't
Stop
think
apologizing. Jesus Christ. Sebastian, who is on your list? And don't be ashamed.
I won't. I will close my list with the best Eurovision nation for me, so Italy. Really, what they are doing on Eurovision from coming back in 2011, it's wonderful. Maybe you don't like all the songs, maybe some stagings are sometimes missed, but still they are delivering lots of quality on all different music genres. And right now we are getting this very lovable, flirty man duet, but I really think that doing miracles, really. And this pure emotion which it laid down with really, it catch you. So I won't be surprised if they're gonna win again. I won't be surprised they're gonna be on top 3. I won't be surprised they're gonna be top 5. I believe that Italy knows how to play the game called Eurovision Song Contest. And please don't change, guys. This is amazing.
Wow. And to make it official, Italy clean sweep. All 4 of us have them in the top 10. That's not an easy accomplishment. So I think we'll find out. Although it's very interesting, last year we also had a group of 4. None of us had Italy in the top 10, and then they won. So maybe we shouldn't celebrate that early. But for now, let's move on. James, your last country in the top 10.
All right, my last country in the top 10, Bulgaria. Just screwing with you, no.
Yeah, I fell for it.
No. I'm going with Sweden. Yeah, a bit obvious, I know, but she can stare into your soul, put her hand in your heart, rip it right clean out, and you will beg for it. Great singer. Very charismatic. Sort of reminds me of a sort of young, impish Bonnie Tyler, but without like the Hemi engine. Sort of a nice, almost husky-ish growl. Again, a very enchanting singer, and no matter what she does on stage, it's captivating. Love it. Very powerful performance.
Okay, there you have it. And the final country on my list to bring this to an end, it's France. And I am so thrilled that for 2 years in a row, they've been sending something amazing. Unlike Gabe, though, I was never had to get used to it because I was rooting for this song the very first moment I heard it. Like just 30 seconds into the song, like this has to flip and win. And the juries and the televoters in France absolutely got this right. It's really like electronic sound meets folk music, and they create this really unique sound that exactly what I'm coming to see in Eurovision, something we would never hear anywhere else, or certainly I wouldn't. And yes, it is, again, maybe a little bit more risky, but a lot of people are gravitating towards it for a reason. It is just so good. Boom, mind blown when I heard it for the first time. So I am so thrilled that France once again is in my top 10 for a second year in a row, and please never ever leave again. Become the next new Italy. That's what I'm asking of you. Not much. That's all I want. Not much more than that. All right, there you have it. 10 songs, as you can see, for Gabe, for Sebastian, James, and I, our personal top 10. Of course, that can change post Eurovision if somebody completely butchers, but as of right now, this is where we're at. The question is, my friends, which top 10 do you agree the most with, or are we all just completely off, at least according to your taste? Leave your thoughts below in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. Eurovision is almost upon us, my friends. Talk to you all later.